Good morning, dear students, and welcome to the second part of our chapter, Parallel Lines and Transversals. If you all remember, in our previous Zoom classes, I had already informed you that this particular chapter is a very important chapter. So please make sure that you are listening to whatever I am going to tell you and understand whatever I am going to tell you, because this is going to form the basis for your geometry, which you will be learning in the 9th and the 10th standard. Okay. So I hope you all have already revised and gone through what we had already learned in our previous class, and we will continue from there. That was our basic, so we will be continuing forward from there. We will now be studying the properties of the angles formed by two parallel lines and a transversal. Okay, so we will be talking about parallel lines, and we will be talking about transversal, the line which will be cutting through our parallel lines. So if you look at this diagram over here, we have two parallel lines, which is line M and line N. They are both parallel to each other, and we have line L, which is the transversal, which is cutting the line M and line N in 2 points. Okay, so line M is parallel to line N, and line L is your transversal. That is what is written over here as well. So now we will look at our corresponding angles. You already know which are the corresponding angles over here. So when we have parallel lines, only then, okay, when we are only talking about parallel lines and transversal, only then we will say that the corresponding angles which are present, they will be congruent to each other, they will be equal to each other. So which is the first pair of corresponding angles over here? Angle A and angle E. So you will write the first pair, angle A is congruent to angle E. This is the congruent sign, which says that both are of the same measurement. So angle A and angle E are your corresponding angles, and they are congruent to each other. Next, we have angle B and angle F, which are congruent angles. So your second pair, angle B is congruent to angle F. The next pair of corresponding angles, D and H. So the third pair, angle D is congruent to angle H. And finally, the last pair of corresponding angles, that is angle C and angle G, they are also congruent. So the fourth pair, angle C is congruent to angle G. Okay, so this particular property is only valid if your lines are parallel to each other. If it is not parallel, then the congruent angles are not, the corresponding angles are not congruent to each other, they are not equal to each other, but they are equal to each other only in case if the lines are parallel to each other. Okay, so I want you to copy this down. This is your first property. I am going to write it down over here. I don't have place to write down over here, so you will write down below this. I am going to write it down over here. Okay, so in this case, the corresponding angles which are formed, they are congruent to each other. Please copy this down, students. Now we move on to the next type of angles, which are your alternate angles. So we'll look at the first pair of alternate angles which are formed over here. Please have a look and decide which are your alternate angles. Okay, so as I said, your alternate angles, your interior alternate angles and your exterior alternate angles. The interior alternate angles will form a Z formation and an inverted Z formation, and your exterior angles are the two extreme angles. Okay, so in this case also your alternate angles will be of the same measurement, they will be congruent. So we'll write down the pairs of alternate angles which are formed. First we will write down the interior alternate angles. And then we will write down the exterior alternate angles. Your interior alternate angles, as I told you, is the Z formation. So your angle D, you have the Z formation over here. So angle D is congruent to angle F. The first one, angle D is congruent to angle F. Now the inverted Z formation over here, angle C is congruent to angle E. Angle C congruent to angle E. Now your exterior alternate angles, the exterior angles which are very much far away, far apart from each other. So angle A is congruent to angle G. The first pair, angle A is congruent to angle G, and your second pair, angle B is congruent to angle H. Angle B is congruent to angle H. Okay, so with this we come to know that when you have parallel lines and when you have a transversal to it, the alternate angles which are formed, interior alternate and the exterior alternate, both of the alternate angles which are formed, they are also congruent. So once you write down this, at the bottom you will write down So our alternate angles which are formed, they are also congruent to each other. Please copy this down, dear students. You will have to draw the diagram again and write down everything once again. Now if you remember, the last type of angles that we had learnt about was the interior angles. The interior angles, the box formation. So we have one angle over here and one angle here. So angle D and angle E, and over here we have angle C and angle F. But in interior angles, we will not say that the angles are congruent, they do not have the same measurement, but when you add up the measurements of both the angles, it will come to 180 degrees. So in this case, angle D plus angle E will give you 180 degrees, angle C plus angle F will give you 180 degrees. And you have already learnt in 7th standard, when you add up two angles and when you get the answer as 180 degrees, they are called as supplementary angles. So over here we will say that the interior angles which are formed are supplementary, that is they are 180 degrees. So which are the interior angles which are formed, we will write that first. So the first one, measurement of angle D plus measurement of angle E is 180 degrees, and the other interior angles, angle C and angle F. So measurement of angle C plus measurement of angle F will give you 180 degrees. So what is the meaning of this? It means that the interior angles which are formed are supplementary. They are going to add up to give you a measurement of 180 degrees. Okay. So your interior angles formed are supplementary. Please copy this down. You have to write this entire part once again along with the diagram. Okay, so from these three things we have learned, from what I have just told you, we have learned first, your corresponding angles are congruent, second, your alternate angles are congruent, and third, your interior angles are supplementary. So we will write all those 3 points over here. The first one, your corresponding angles are congruent. Second, your alternate angles are congruent. And the third point, your interior angles are supplementary. Okay, so you have to copy this down from over here. This is your 3 properties which you get to know when you have 2 parallel lines and a transversal. Your corresponding angles are congruent, your alternate angles are congruent, and your interior angles are supplementary. Please copy this down, students. Now we move on to your practice set 2.2. I'm going to solve two sums, your first and the second sum, and the remaining sums you will try to solve it yourself. By the end of today or by tomorrow, I will send you the notes in writing. Please write down your sum and draw the diagram. Okay, now what exactly is given in this first sum? You have a diagram which is drawn. It is told to you that your line M is parallel to line N. So this line and this line are parallel to each other. Line M is parallel to line N, and line P is your transversal. Line P is your transversal. You are given measurements for this angle and for this angle. Let's name it as A and B. So your measurement for angle A is 3x and your measurement for angle B is x, and you have to find out what is the value of this x. Okay, so when we are solving these sums, you will have to mention which property is what you are using. Okay, so if we look carefully over here, we have angle A over here, A is over here, B is over here. Both of them are forming interior angles. You see the box formation, one angle here, one angle here, so they are interior angles. So when you add up both the angles, your measurement has to be 180 degrees because your interior angles are supplementary. So we are going to use that property and we are going to solve the sum. Okay, so this property is what we will be using for this sum. So please make sure whenever you are solving any sums related to geometry, you have to mention which property it is that you are using. So over here the property that we are using is the property of parallel lines and transversal. Interior angles formed are supplementary. Okay, so that means the measurement of angle A plus measurement of angle B should give me 180 degrees. So therefore measurement of angle A plus measurement of angle B should be 180 degrees. Measurement of angle A is given as 3x, measurement of angle B is given as x. So when you add it up together, you should get 180 degrees. 3x plus x gives me 4x is equal to 180. So the 4 goes on the other side, x is equal to 180 upon 4, which gives me 4 4s are 16, carry 2, 4 5s are 20, which gives me the answer as 45. So my final answer, the value of x is equal to 45 degrees. Okay, so this is how you are going to solve the sums for this particular practice set. You draw your diagram, you write whatever is given to you, what is the measurements, what is given you, which lines are parallel to each other, which line is the transversal, what are the different measurements which are given to you, and what you have to find out. After that, you write down what is the property that you will be using to solve the sum, and then you solve the sum, get your final answer, and then you write the final answer in this way. Okay, so please copy this down. Start copying down the next sum. Okay, now please look at the board, children. Here in this diagram, it is given to you that your line A is parallel to line B. So this line A is parallel to line B, and line L is your transversal. This line L is your transversal. There are two measurements which are given to you, over here 4x and over here 2x. So let's call this as angle A. Measurement of angle A is 4x, and let's call this as angle B, which the measurement of angle B is 4x, and you have to find out the value of x. Now in your previous sum, you had both the angles which were forming an interior angle, but over here do you see any formation of angles between angle A and angle B? No, they are not forming interior angles, they are not forming alternate angles, they are not forming corresponding angles. So we will search for something else. If you see here, I have marked this angle as angle C. So angle B and angle C are forming corresponding angles. So both these angles are going to be congruent to each other, both will have the same measurement. So if angle B is 2x, the measurement of angle B is 2x, that means the measurement of angle C is also going to be 2x. So once we get this measurement, we see that angle C and angle A are forming a linear pair, that is they form 180 degrees with each other. So using that we will find out the value of x. So first let us prove that angle C and angle B is having the same measurement. Okay, so as I said, your angle B and angle C are your corresponding angles, so the measurement is the same. So that is what I have written. As per property of parallel lines and transversal, corresponding angles formed are congruent. Your angle B and angle C are corresponding angles, so the measurement of angle B will be equal to measurement of angle C, which is 2x. So if this is 2x, this is also 2x. Now if you look at angle A and angle C, angle A and angle C, they are forming a linear pair. Okay, so that means when you add up the measurement of both these angles, it will be 180 degrees. So therefore measurement of angle A plus measurement of angle C gives you 180 degrees. Your angle A measurement is given to you as 4x. 2x is what you have found out as measurement of angle C. So 4x plus 2x is equal to 180 degrees. 4x plus 2x gives us 6x. 6x is equal to 180. 6 goes on the other side. X is equal to 180 upon 6, which gives us 30. So your final answer is value of x is 30 degrees. Okay, so in this way, dear students, we will be solving the remaining sums as well. I request you to try and solve the remaining sums of practice set 2.2, and by evening or by tomorrow I will send you the written solutions for those sums as well. Okay, so my dear children, keep practicing and stay happy, stay safe. Please don't go out anywhere. Keep yourself healthy, keep yourself safe. Okay, goodbye dear children, till we meet again the next time. Bye.